intro music. Yeah! Woohoo!
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. And today I really want to focus on you players who maybe have never played the game before. You're brand new, you're just coming in. And even if you've been here a while, this is the video I'm super excited about. One thing that kind of got slid under the rug in December, and I don't know why it happened, but it did. A ton of quality of life improvements have been added to the game. Most recently, you should remember that we talked about the quality of life improvement with the Mantis, finally getting those hostiles fixed. It doesn't matter how long it took, it just matters that it happened, right? Like, we got them. It's you know what, if I was going full meme, I'd do that one like, gentlemen, we got him. Was it President Bush? Who was it? I don't know. Some of you older people remember. What I'm specifically talking about is this. We got the Mantis fix in. It was huge. Welcomed, loved, quality of life update. But it wasn't just that. It's now that the help button, we click it one time. You click the help button. You sent the helps. Done. Finito. Little things like that being added to the game are fantastic. And now you have this training program, which why this wasn't available 4 years ago, I don't know. But I'm super happy to have it now. Now, for those that don't know, I am currently playing on server 92. I have a main account on server 20, but once a year at least, and people who've been around a while can comment to confirm this, I try to restart the game so I can be familiar with new things that are happening, be familiar with new players, and this is usually how I free to play the game. So now we have currently this field training system, which is a walkthrough, and let me go ahead and tell you the immediate value. Click on any of these, look at the top, shards to Moreau, shards to Moreau, shards to Moreau, shards to Pike. Now, for experienced players who are here, one of the first things you're going to say is, well, I've already upgraded my Rialto, or I've already got the shards, etc. Eco, the community manager for the game, has already announced that they will be pushing a milestone achievement for players who are already there, so that you can bypass through this. This is designed for new players in the game. And this is something that by itself immediately makes me go, if I get asked, should you as a new player play this game? Answer 100% yes. Moves like this to actually add to the original part of the game, moving players along and progressing is huge. Why is it such a big deal, Rev? Because you're going to unlock Moreau by completing this. And you're going to have over half of Pike by completing this. And if you follow certain content creators like Rev Deuce, this alone will make it to where you have got Pike guaranteed by the time you hit level 28, 29. Guaranteed, and I'm going to cover how in this video. Now, for new players going, well, what is so important about these two officers? These two officers make up what's called the meta, or most effective tactic available for grinding hostiles, which is something that you'll do all day, every day in the game. It's just part of what you do to get rep and to complete your dailies and to simply level up your ships. You're going to do a lot of that. This is now taking one of the premier crews in the game and starting the progress to where you can start going after them very, very early. Now, I've already completed it, the officer side of that, my baby account, which allowed me to collect Pike Moreau shards up here. And this is important because when you start the game fresh, one of the biggest things that we talk about being a slowdown is officer acquisition. Well, you see right here, I'm missing a lot of officers. Now, I'm going to get some of these through doing things like dual faction grinding. I'll hit on that in this video, but you scroll down, I've already got 11 out of 38 of Moreau, 10 out of 100 on Pike. That's very important for what we're trying to do here in terms of if we want players to get to, say, level 35 and release new content for those players, well, they got to be able to get Chin. They've got to be able to get Pike, Moreau, and all these other officers. And speaking of, got me some Chin shards and some Talon shards. Good to see. So now we have this training method where we can click right here on the right side of the screen. And so far there are 4 different boxes, but I've also been talking to game design with the idea of, well, what if we just created achievement type platforms where you could simply, no matter what level you were, because this is obviously designed for new players. Come join me on server 92. A link to how you can do that is in the top comment of this channel. Click that link. But as we're looking through this, obviously this is designed towards newer players, and the payouts aren't great if you're a veteran. You know, for example, do you really need, you know, the projectile shards? But for a new player, it's actually really neat because it's giving you some things in the game that would have normally taken you months to go after, but because so many new things are happening, the game is starting to dedicate time so that you don't have to do all the things. This means that you can get projectiles. So you're curious, okay, well, Rev, what does that projectile even do? Like, is it just a vanity item? It is. Let me show you the vanity item though. This is something that you can't really get in the game. It's something that we've kind of like, well, had forgotten about or passed. If you hit your refits menu, newer players seeing this, well, this is how we would go about getting those skins and cloaking and things like that for our ships. You got a projectiles that's going to unlock, you know, you've got your fusion beam here. You've got these plasma beams. It allows you to add a little bit different cosmetic to your game, to pretty it up a little bit, to give you some customization, which is something so many of us have asked for in a Star Trek game. So because of that, I'm excited. And this is just the start of it, by the way. We talk about it on Twitch. I know I mention my Twitch all the time, but we have a lot of live streams over there where not only are we getting this to where it's giving us things like officer shards and experience, but more importantly, the biggest thing that it honestly does is it helps you grow as a player by understanding what you need to do. So many of you ask, well, I can't find missions or I don't know the next step to take. And while you do have basic things that say, hey, upgrade your ops building, well, what about here in the station tab? Like understanding, open up the 24-hour gift chest. Okay, but where is that? Click go. Bam, there's my 24-hour gift chest. I gotta wait a few hours, but that's okay. Now I know where it's at. Now I know how to go and get to it, because there's so many things in the UI that can be confusing. You know, what about obtaining par steel by completing missions or dailies? Well, when I complete that, I'll actually be able to go to the next step. And you see, I'm just waiting. I've got most of these ready, but then open 10-minute chest. Normally we would say, hey, who cares about the 10-minute chest? Now there's an achievement to go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna actually go back real quick and click that 10-minute chest that normally Rev would ignore. Like I'd be like, who cares about a stupid 10-minute chest? But today, this day, Rev cares. This day, Rev likes the training. So it's allowing new players a better path to unlock officers, a better path to unlock, you know, things that they haven't had before, to get some of these early frames and avatars to allow you to customize your game a little bit, where before you would take months in the game before you got some of these options, and now you're getting them accessed early on. You look at the combat option, upgrade ops 10, advance your station, then go after hostile ships. And again, here's more pike shards, and there's 10 pike shards there. There's 3 there. That would bring me up to 23. Go back to the other goals here where the station option is. This would bring me to 33 pike shards. This would bring me to 38 pike shards, not counting the Moreaus coming in big chunks, with her only needing 38. Now, will this make you like the premier player of the game? No, because you really want Moreau tier 3. Remember, Pike Moreau with tier 3 Moreau gives you max mitigation. For new players who are unfamiliar with what that means, don't worry. All new player questions are welcome down in the comment section below. But it's important to have, and it's important to start accruing these things. And if you are a current player who maybe didn't have these max, well, it's still important to progress through this so that you can get those officer shards and start turning them into transporter patterns. And yes, players have already confirmed that they do turn into transporter patterns if you're sitting there with them. So that's a huge win. It's really one of those things that you've got to give Scopely credit for. Like, we asked for early things in the game. And I understand when new content that comes out can be focused for like level 35 plus. But at the same time, if you're going to do that, find ways to make new player acquisition easier, to make new players have something to do and have fun, and give them an experience as well. That's exactly what the training and the field training does. And what it is more important to me, the most important part of this is only a snippet of what this can do. Think of field training being an achievement system to where, well, what if we had achievements for like, okay, we want you to take a Mayflower and we want you to take that Mayflower up, and can you kill a level 39 hostile with it? Or here's something real fun. Can you take a Gladius and defeat a heavy trader in a capital system? You know, difficult to achieve things that might pay out some of these harder to earn officer tokens or anything like that in the game. Par steel tokens, titanium. It's opening up an idea and a system that's not only great for newer players coming in the game who need to learn the game, but also for players who are here to give them something to do that isn't just based on the, well, I guess I better upgrade my ops building because I want to get to this, that, the other. It's adding an element of fun, an element of achievement. And anytime you as a player achieve something, you feel good about it. I feel good about it. And hell, I've done this a billion times. You know how many times I've unlocked these freaking officers? If I counted every account that I've had, I'm literally probably up to about 20 something accounts by now in terms of how many I've played on and servers I've played on. I've played on APAC servers, US servers, etc. But this is fun. Like, I was excited just to go through like, oh, I can do Troy and finish this out and start working on those shards. So this new field training, again, to remind you, current players who can't progress it because of the Rialta block or the officers, they're going to make a milestone so that y'all can just bypass that. They're working on an EcoBoost engine. The community manager's already announced it. So that's going to be fine. But in terms of the long term of this game, this is a fantastic move. And this actually might be one of the best things that they've inserted into 2022, even though it seems lower profile, because of the potential of what it can be. And before you say anything negative, well, Rev, potential is one thing, but when are they actually going to do something with that potential? I've actually already talked to a couple people in game design, and they're talking about doing stuff like this. They're talking about how great an achievement system can be for players who have been here 3-4 years and new players. So it's something to be excited about, and I hope you enjoy it. Now, because we're focusing a lot on new players, this is an open thing. You have questions, drop them down in the comment section below. But just this past weekend, I actually had to train a community manager in parts of the game. I did a one-on-one session with a player from the game. If you need help, reach out to me. If your server wants to do a town hall where I'll come and I go over how the mechanics work, what's the game planning, what is going on with these officers, that officers, I'm more than happy to do it. I want to be here for you and for the community, and I love each and every one of you. So all that rambling on and said, live long and prosper. Stay safe for the Space Cowboys. Deuces, that's me. Catch you on the next video. And man, I'm really highlighting these QOLs because I think the quality of life updates in December have been fantastic. And by those reasons alone, I'm leaning more towards another A ranking. But you know what? Let's wait and see how it ends up going by Christmas. Deuces.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.